Hey!
Hey,
Welcome back, everybody.
That was a really loud clap on my part.
sorry, my hands hurt.
We're here. We're good. We're watching this fucking episode. Oh no, I opened up the link to the wrong notes.
Are we doing 606?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's
606,
what I thought, too.
yeah.
Okay, just making
Yeah,
sure.
okay, good. That was the most, recent one.
Yeah, I opened up the wrong link, is what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Hi, everybody. We're doing another podcast. We're fucking doing it.
We're here.
So right now it is January 17th at 9 p.m. That is what it is right now.
And a bunch of exciting events just happened, and it's a lot of hot
A
topics.
lot of award shows.
Yeah,
mostly.
a lot of them. Which one happened first?
The Globes.
Critic?
And then it was
The Globes.
Critics? No, I feel like
And
was
then-
Critics first?
It was Globes, Critics, Emmys.
Okay.
Yeah, and most of the results were the same. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
But it was every baby girl won. Jeremy Allen White won. Io won. Ebon.
Didn't the Bear cast win too?
Succession swept. You know what though? I'll say it. I have beef with one category, maybe, and that
Which one?
is supporting actress in a drama series. It went to Jennifer Coolidge instead of Rhea Seehorn.
I heard Jennifer Coolidge kind of kills it. I heard she kind of kills it in White Lotus, though.
In my opinion. I believe that, but Rhea Seehorn is so fucking good in Better Call Saul. And also, it was Better Call Saul's last season.
No.
And she never and they
That's
never won a
crazy.
single Emmy. And didn't Jennifer Coolidge win last year?
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She won something. I don't know if it was
I don't know.
Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, but White Lotus was categorized as a limited series last year. But then since it got another season, they moved it to drama.
I rewatched all of The Bear over the last 2 days, and here is my conclusive idea about the categorization of it. I can see why season 1 landed in comedy. Season 1's got more little quips. It's got more comedy in it. Season 2, not a fucking comedy.
Season
It's
2
not
gave me a
fucking
panic
comedy.
Yeah,
dude.
that's a drama. I
The whole Christmas episode, do not don't say that's a comedy. Get out of my face.
think they're more likely to stick it in the comedy category for the same reason that they did a show like Barry.
Yeah.
And that's because it runs 30 minutes instead of an hour.
I think they might,
Was Barry nominated at all for their last season?
They won nothing.
because The Bear.
But also Ted Lasso won nothing.
Yeah. But I also, well, at the Emmys, I think
They
Sam,
won
what's
somewhere,
his name,
didn't they?
won for Best Guest Star at the Creative
Oh,
Arts
he did,
Emmys.
but he deserves that always 100% because he's Sam Richardson. And Tim Robinson won an Emmy, so they won Emmys together and they're besties.
But
so.
on the category thing, I think it would behoove them to switch to drama next year because Succession won't be one of the options next year. And
Yeah, no competitor.
that would clear the way for comedies like Abbott Elementary to win for comedy.
Quinta
didn't she?
won. Yeah?
Quinta won,
And
yes.
Yeah, she won.
and who one of them won Best Supporting, no?
Yes, Io won Best Supporting and Quinta won Best Lead, and that's the first time 2 black women have won it in the same year ever.
Oh, who am I thinking of? Am I
That's
thinking
awesome.
of Niecy? Am I?
There was
I-
a lady
Niecy Nash
from,
won-
The lady from Dahmer.
Yeah, Niecy Nash,
Yeah.
who I just finished Reno 911 this year, and she is so fucking funny.
I'm obsessed with her.
She's awesome. I loved her speech.
I'll be honest with you guys, I did not watch the actual ceremony. I just read the winners list after.
It was the single greatest ceremony I've ever seen.
Y'all want to know how I witnessed
How?
it? Only TikTok.
Oh, okay.
The way that it was structured, there weren't canned bits. They were they brought back casts from TV shows and had them on the sets of their TV shows.
Sunny Cast.
I did see the Sunny cast, but they didn't build a Patty's Pub, and
No, they did
they
not.
said something about
They
that.
had the cast of Martin in the set of Martin. They had the cast of Cheers in Cheers. They had 2 cast members from All in the Family in, and they had the cast of
Didn't they
The
have Grey's
Sopranos.
Anatomy?
Yes, Katherine fucking Heigl stood on stage next to Ellen Pompeo in front of Shonda Rhimes. I don't know if you know what a big fucking deal that is.
Is there beef?
That would be like a Shameless reunion with the woman that played the woman that played Mandy and Fiona and the girl that played Karen standing there in front of John Wells. That's how big of a deal this was.
Oh.
This was
Okay.
a big fucking deal.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Catherine
juicy.
got fired from the show after she was submitted to the Emmys.
Who was Catherine in Grey's?
She was Izzy. she was submitted to the Emmys in season 7 for her work in season 7, and she asked that the submission be pulled because she said,
I did see that.
I do not believe that the work that we put out, that I was given to put out in season 7, is worth a nomination.
Interesting. But did she ever? She never actually got nominated, right?
Podcast,
it was
you?
just
she got nominated.
Oh, she
But in
did?
that season, she asked that her nomination be pulled.
interesting.
And then she got written off the show.
Well, yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, because Shonda Rhimes is like, okay, you actively shaded me in the press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same reason,
What-
like, Patrick Dempsey said something Shonda didn't like, she fucking killed
What
him.
happened? What was so bad about the storyline? I've never watched Grey's, so I'm just curious.
She was right. Izzy's storyline was weak in that season. It was just like...
It was just boring.
there wasn't anything, like, overtly terrible about it. Yeah, it was just boring. It was like when Steve Howey went shopping around to other shows to kind of intimidate Shameless.
It's because Kev wasn't really doing anything.
Yes.
Interesting.
She wasn't
I
really
wonder
doing
how she got an
anything.
Emmy
Yeah.
nomination then. Is it just because she's so good? Because she's Katherine Heigl?
Her work in the seasons that she got nominated for, fucking incredible. Like, her and Denny is one of the best storylines that the show has ever had. It was remarkable.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not even the biggest Katherine Heigl fan. I like her in Grey's Anatomy, and I like 27 Dresses, and that's about it. But, like, my word, does she kill it on that show.
Damn. Okay.
But,
I
like,
feel like every clip I see of her, she's crying.
but like
show.
her standing there next to the guy that played Alex, who has also since left the show. Her and him and Ellen Pompeo, who plays Meredith Grey, and then the two actors that are still on the show
Yeah.
that play Richard and Bailey. Them
I
standing
love
on that
Bailey.
set together, crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
Crazy.
That's an interesting way of doing it, for sure.
Yeah.
Were they all just like being honored of like long
Important
TV shows or
shows.
It
something?
was-
Like,
It was that. It was like acknowledging Black television, like Martin and things like that, and acknowledging like the start of the sitcom with like All in the Family and the legends that have since been. And it was really, oh my God, the In Memoriam too. Charlie Puth did the In Memoriam.
I saw that.
And
He
it
sang
was-
See You Again, but then they switched to the Friends theme song.
Yeah,
I'm sick of that.
when
I'm
See
sorry,
You
I'm sick of
Again,
that song.
no, but when See You Again transitioned into the Friends theme song, me and my sister, my mom all remembered Matthew Perry and started weeping.
Oh.
Like, it was beautiful.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
damn.
It was beautiful. But yeah, so not only did all of my baby girls win, that was genuinely the best salute and honor to television I've ever seen an award show do.
What? It was what,
really
the 75th year of the Emmys?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was like a special one. A
Yeah.
quarter quell.
And it's the 25th anniversary of Sopranos. Grey's Anatomy is now officially the longest running medical drama on TV ever.
Always Sunny's
yeah.
longest running sitcom.
Never been nominated for a single Emmy.
I'll
Never
be
been
honest,
Invited.
I don't like I can't think of a season that would be. Like, I don't know.
But
No, I
Rob
like.
McElhenney.
If I'm
I know he won for
I-
Welcome to
the
Wrexham.
gay Mac.
No, but Max Dance, that episode,
I guess.
he should have gotten a nomination for that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's decisively stepping outside of comedy in that episode.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think they rub a lot of people, especially in the Academy for the Emmys.
Mhm.
I think they
Yeah.
think they rub a lot of people the wrong way in the Academy.
That's fair.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
My favorite thing though is that photo of Rob watching like the Phillies game.
Like
Like,
while
yeah.
he's sitting
Yeah.
he's sitting in the audience.
Yeah.
Caitlin looked good.
Oh, God. Yeah, she did look good.
I-
Jason
my-
Kelsey, by the way, deserved a better season than he got. If this was Jason Kelsey's last season, which it definitely was,
No.
I'm so angry for him. I'm so upset for
I like him better than his brother. I'll say it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He plays on the Eagles. He's beloved in this city. And his brother is dating Taylor Swift.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Right, that's why I'm like, I like him better than his brother.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't care about
Me
Taylor
neither.
Swift.
I'm sorry,
Oh,
listeners,
it's
if
awesome.
you do. I'm sorry.
Isn't that
Yeah.
so cool, guys? We've probably just lost a lot of people,
I'm-
being honest.
I'm
I feel
sorry,
like it's like
I'm sorry.
scary to say that stuff. I'm not. Anyways, I want to say just one thing. I love
Yeah.
the Sunny bit. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, they were like, have you ever been nominated? And Danny's just like, yeah, for Taxi. that was just too good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had our big three from the Bear that won.
And then the
any
Succession
other,
girlies.
Of course,
they won.
naturally.
yes, any other memorable moments of that
Beef
night?
took home like
Or
every
nights?
award, and Bill Hader won nothing. But every time Ali Wong won, he looked really happy for her.
God, I
but
am
Bill
so
Hader
angry.
he didn't win, but we won because he got a lot of screen
That's
time.
true.
I'm so angry about the amount of awards that Beef got.
I never watched it.
Like, yeah, because
Neither
isn't
did
one
I.
of the cast members a fucking rapist?
Yeah, but even before that came out, I just didn't get around to it, I think.
Beef is what Ali
Steven
Wong,
Yeun,
the guy from Walking
yeah,
Dead.
and
Yeah.
Yes,
it was all written and directed by like one guy, but I don't remember his name. But he won the like writing and directing awards.
Yeah.
Was it a limited series or what is it?
It's on Netflix.
Paul Walter Hauser won for limited series supporting actor, maybe, and he was in I Think
Who
You
is
Should
this?
Leave. That's all I really know him from. But
I watched the clip of the guy who won for the morning show, and I was like, he seems like he deserved that.
who won for the morning show?
This guy.
Billy Crudup.
Oh, that
I
makes
think
sense.
He won for the morning
He's like
show.
the main
Yeah.
guy.
I don't know. I really liked his like speech. I was just like, I feel like he deserved this.
He's excellent on the morning show because his character's detestable.
Yeah,
so
my
he's
mom
excellent.
really likes that
Who
show.
was silly that one? I remember. The one guy from that one, like serial crime show where he plays like the guy who's like, actually, like I
Oh
kinda
yeah,
strangled her.
his acceptance speech rhymed. It was
What?
a poem.
Wait,
it was a
the
poem.
guy who played.
acceptance speech was
Wait,
a
am
poem.
I crazy? Sorry, the guy who played
Amanda, you probably have to confirm because I don't know names.
Ed Kemper in Mindhunter won an award.
No, not him. It was not him. It was the Taron Egerton show Blackbird, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what
it's
I'm
like
talking
his,
about.
like,
Paul
prison
Walter Hauser.
Wait, that's the
Yeah,
same guy.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
That's the same
Well,
guy.
Is that the
He
same?
played-
Yeah, because he looks kind of like how I remember Ed Kemper looking in Mindhunter.
No, he did not play Ed
he-
Kemper. Ed Kemper's
No,
way
I know
bigger.
he
This guy
didn't.
was
I
in,
know
like-
he didn't. I'm just saying they're both like white bald guys. So I was like,
This guy was in Bupkis and Black Klansman.
yeah.
And Cobra Kai and everything. But and I, Tonya, he was one of the guys that broke the woman's legs in I, Tonya. But his speech was a poem.
I always just think about like his characters. They always just like they kind of sound like this.
Yeah.
And he like I don't know. It's just like it was just his speech made me go.
He was
okay.
also chewing something. When
Yeah, he just seems so like disconnected, and I think that's why I remembered it. And then I feel like someone else had like a silly acceptance speech that I really liked, but I can't remember who it was.
I did
think it was a
love
woman.
that Quinta Brunson got to accept her award from Carol Burnett.
Oh, that's
like
sweet.
that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Did John Hamm present?
No.
No. Why did I see a clip of him?
Oh, Tina Fey and Amy
Oh.
Poehler did a Weekend Update presentation.
I heard about
It
that.
was so
and then
good.
Lorne Michaels, I guess in the press like today or yesterday said that Tina was in the running to
Confirmed.
take over SNL.
Yeah, that's been a rumor
No
for a
way.
while.
I remember I heard that rumor a while ago.
But it would make sense.
No, it would make
Like,
so
it would
much sense. I'm like,
100%
she
make
literally
sense.
made a
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching 30 Rock right now, but it's like she literally made a show like
Yeah.
about her time at SNL. So
Yeah.
that would make a lot of sense.
I don't think it was at the Emmys, but I think critics like Last of Us got Best Supporting Actress
Yes.
and Supporting Actor, which was like or guest star. It was good, dope. So Stormy Reed won, and then Nick Offerman won, which was dope.
I
But
did
I don't
love
think-
Pedro Pascal getting on stage at the Emmys and being like, a lot of people
Oh,
are
yeah.
asking about my arm. It's my shoulder. Kieran Culkin beat the shit out of
Beat
me.
the shit out of me. And the frame of Kieran just staring is like the scariest photo I've
Yeah.
ever seen of someone. But yeah, I don't think Last of Us won anything at the Emmys, which is like
It didn't.
it's a good show, but I generally don't see it really being nominated. I think both of the guest stars really did deserve that because of
Yeah.
their partake in
Yeah.
that show.
Yeah.
But if anyone like I could see Pedro maybe getting something, but
Not against Kieran
uh,
Culkin though.
sec-
Not this year.
No.
yeah, no, absolutely not. But I'm thinking for like season
But Joel
2,
dies
Pedro will
in
probably
season
not
2.
be nominated. In the very spoiler for Last
In
of
the
Us
very
Part
beginning,
2,
right?
guys. Joel gets his fucking. He's done. He's probably gonna be in like the first episode, and then it's gonna be the Ellie Abby show for the rest.
Unless
of the
they
series.
really draw
But,
it
so
out because
I
they
don't
know
see-
people like Pedro. But he could be nominated for
No,
guest.
here's the thing though, is that it's already because even though Joel is not actively in the game, half of that game is flashbacks of Ellie and him.
Mm.
So like he is still going to be in the show. He's not going to be
Yeah.
actively in the storyline, but whatever. But he could possibly, but I don't know.
Speaking
If
of
anything,
someone who is barely in the season, I love that Brian Cox also only showed up to the Emmys. Every
Yeah.
other time when he was nominated, it was just like a photo of him.
Well,
He's like, I'm not
he
fucking
knew
coming
he
to
was
this.
not going to
He only
win.
went to the Emmys.
he just hangs out.
He's like, give it to Kieran. I'm staying home. Every time Matthew McFadden won, Zoe and Joey were like, Tom Walsgams wins again.
I saw the clip of him and Io talking.
Yeah.
And she was like, I got grounded because I had your photo on my desktop. And he was like, that's awesome.
I loved the interview. Someone was interviewing Daniel Radcliffe, asking him what's the next thing he wants to do. And he's like, I had done one rom-com and I really enjoyed it and I'd really like to do another one. And someone said, oh, who would be your leading lady? And he said, Quinta Brunson. We're the same height.
Oh,
it
I
would
saw
be
that.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's cute.
All right. And now
We're
I
here
feel like
to
we're
what
just delaying because
matters.
this episode's so heavy.
I know, I'm tired. I don't want to do this.
Okay, but let's. Hello, everybody. This is The Luck We Had. It's a Shameless Recap podcast. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Amanda.
Hey, I'm Evan.
I'm Lena.
And this episode, we're doing Season 6, Episode 6, NSFW.
They knew what they were doing.
The episode with probably the darkest content of any Shameless episode that I can recall.
It's been like 2 weeks
Season
since
2
I watched
episode,
this episode.
whatever, Thanksgiving.
No, I would argue this is darker.
Okay, yeah, no,
I don't
probably.
remember what happens.
Yeah. To get Evan to refresh you, Nick.
Oh, yeah, duh. The thing we've been
Yeah.
literally talking about for like fucking a month. Sorry.
God.
What I do is I binge the season in like a week and then forget about it. And then,
Going into this episode blind was exactly what I needed. Like,
yeah,
like
no, I was
I'm
happy
glad we
Nina
didn't say
had
anything,
been
yeah.
so secretive.
this.
Yeah.
And this aired on Valentine's Day in 2016.
I remember
aired
when
on
this
February
aired.
Yo, hard.
14th.
I remember. Well, okay, the episodes, that was like right when they launched the Showtime like online platform, like the streaming. So the episodes used to come out actually at like, there was some weird glitch at like midnight the night before.
You would text me.
So it would
Yeah,
come out,
yeah,
it came out
when
like
would-
midnight February, like night of February 13th, midnight February 14th.
Yeah.
So like you could watch it before, but most people didn't
Yeah.
know that that was like a thing. And then they changed it so that
I
they didn't
remember,
come
I
out
think-
till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I think I remember when I didn't reach out to you before then. It was like a little bit after, but I remember I'd be like, Lena, and you just send me the link to the new
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even need to say
Yeah.
anything. You would send me the links because I couldn't find them pirated because I wanted to watch them. As
Or
they
maybe
were
I
coming
gave
out,
you
and
my
were like,
I had
"Got
a
you."
bunch of different Showtime like free trials that I did. Maybe I might have sent you my login
I don't
info
think-
at one point.
You're honestly right because I remember being in like freshman year of high school watching that shit in like homeroom because I would preload it like before I left for school, and then because I was on the school Wi-Fi, I would always already have it
Mhm.
buffered and just watch the episode.
But yeah, this came out in 2016, February 14th. I was a junior in college. Oh, good lord.
Was I a freshman? Yeah, no, I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, this episode was written by Sheila Callahan. Miss Girl, what did you do to us in this episode? Good fucking lord. This is the 7th of 12 episodes
She's
directs.
banger
She
after
writes.
banger. I'm sorry. I'm reading this
Yeah.
list and I'm like, poof, 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 poof.
Yeah. 305, Sins of My Caretaker, and 311, Order Room Service. Banger, banger. 403, Like Father, Like Daughter. 408, Hope Springs Paternal. Banger, banger.
Ooh.
The Two Lisas, 503, 510, Southside Rules. She did this one and 611, Sleep No More. 704, I Am a Storm. 709, Ouroboros.
Okay, aren't we seeing a pattern here? She goes,
I remember people used to call her Miss Galovich.
Yeah.
no, listen, like, if you look at the way it's, what she does is, like, the beginning of the season, she implants something so important, disappears for a little bit, and then comes back at the end of the
To
season
wrap it up.
fucking
She's
wrap
like,
it up
"Guess
full
what?"
circle. Dude, because you have 305, then 311, 403, and then 408, 03, 10, this, like, 6 and 11, 4 and 9, like, she's playing a game, and she fucking won.
Yeah, people
I think we
people
all
would
won.
seriously call her, like on Tumblr, they would be like, well, we all know she's Miss Galovich. She's Mrs.
Yeah.
Galovich. Like, she writes all their good scenes.
She did 805, The Miseducation of Liam Fergus Burkhart Gallagher, and 810, The Church of Gay Jesus.
Damn.
Winner.
She was a Shameless
She
producer.
said season 8 is mine.
She was a Shameless producer from 2013 to 2018, and she wrote United States of Terra, a show called Sorry for Your Loss, and she produced Dispatches from Elsewhere.
United States of Terror is the girl with DID, right?
Yes. It's Toni
That
Collette.
show's crazy. I remember my mom. Is that Nurse Jackie, right?
It's Toni Collette.
No, Nurse Jackie's Edie Falco.
Yeah.
Oh.
Toni Collette's like the mom in horror movies. That's who Toni Collette is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember my mom watching that show growing up, and she was like, "Don't watch this."
It got canceled because of a writer's strike, maybe?
My only memory of that show is I walked in on the episode when she's like her like butch alter ego, and like she wakes up in bed with a woman, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. It got one of the gay characters gets hit by a train. It's terrible. Yeah.
Next.
This episode was directed by Jake Schreier. This is his one and only Shameless episode he directs. He also directed the movie Paper Towns, an episode of the show Dave, an episode of the show The Minx, 6 episodes of Beef.
Oh, so he's relevant right now.
And some music videos for Benny Blanco, Kanye West, and Justin Bieber.
Okay, diversity.
The synopsis of this episode: Ian's relationship with Caleb gets more serious. Barf. Lip, still reeling from the very public scandal, is called to appear before a disciplinary committee where Helene accepts all the blame. The previously on was done by Fiona while refilling ketchups at Patsy's. And previously on Shameless, this is what has happened so far this season. Frank got Debbie the nanny gig at Cancer House. She was supposed to get set up with the husband, but then Cancer wife got in bed with her. Nick only ever wanted his bike, and someone stole it. Kevin V took in so many refugee children. Amanda shared the naked picture of Helene online, and it fucked all kinds of things up for Lip. Ian is into the firefighter Caleb, who wants a legit date, and the Gallaghers were evicted from their home.
Wow.
Title credits. We open on Carl in a pool surrounded by women, absolutely fucking living in a fluffy robe at his hotel with Nick. And meanwhile, Nick is back in the room, curled up on the bed. And Carl comes in his big old robe and tries to cheer Nick up. He's like, there's fucking hot cheerleaders here. Here, I got you some coffee. Nick can't get out of bed. He's too angry. He's too upset.
So sad.
Ugh. And like, Carl, God damn it, when Carl wants to be a good friend, he's such a good friend.
He's like trying it like any way he knows how. But, yeah.
At Cancer House, Debbie is still in bed with Cancer Lady, so we're picking up from the moment the last episode ended. Still in bed with Cancer Lady. Frank sneaks out of the bedroom window, sees the new development, and gives Debbie a little thumbs up. Debbie tries to get out of bed, and it does wake Cancer Mom up. And the mom she's extraordinarily hungover from her night with Frank. And Debbie's like, yeah, you crawled into my bed, and you groped me a little bit. You sang some Melissa Etheridge. And the woman's so embarrassed. She's so embarrassed.
I like her.
Yeah.
She's so sweet.
See, okay, this is one of the reasons why I struggled with the, like, Debbie's a lesbian storyline, is because I'm like, because she had this, like, experience or this interaction, which is continued, by the way. Like, it's not just a one and done thing. Like, she does continue, but then I think Frank is like, you should have sex with her or something. And then she's like, she tries maybe, and she's like, I can't. Like, and so when suddenly she's a lesbian, I'm like, are you?
Like, it'd be one thing if, like, they made her to be...
If she realized later, but it's also, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, could have been,
or she
like,
just wasn't attracted to her,
like,
maybe?
reluctant. Yeah, like, maybe she was more reluctant, and then she was like, oh, maybe, but they totally completely blow it off with any, like, attraction to it. And then all of a sudden, she likes girls and, like,
and
3
doesn't
seasons.
like guys at all. Except for then in one of the last episodes where she, like, has sex with that one guy
at the bar or whatever.
That was really strange.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
So weird.
This show doesn't know how to write queer people. Anyway, for what it's worth, like I said, the mom is like, oh fuck, I did not mean to crawl in bed with you. I was so drunk. I'm so sorry. Like, and she's like trying to back away from it. She's like, I am very sorry for that thing I did. And then meanwhile, Frank strolls in the front door like he didn't spend the night on the guest room floor. And
he's so funny for that.
The mom's freaking out. She's like, oh my God, look what I did. I'm going to puke about this. And Frank goes to Debbie to talk about it. And Debbie, whose hair is so close to that pancake batter. It's so close. It's hanging. Put it over your shoulder. What are you doing? She's like, though she was just drunk. It's fine. She's married to a man. It didn't mean anything. And Frank, the philosopher, he says, a woman's sexuality is as fluid as the Mississippi. Mark my words, she's sweet on you.
He's crazy for that.
He was right, though.
And meanwhile, Fiona is awake in Sean's bed on her phone. And he asks, are you nervous about your procedure today? And she's like, you mean abortion? You can say abortion, Sean. And no, she's not nervous. She's on her phone house hunting. Even a shithole down the block from her where a guy hung himself is $3,000 a month.
Damn.
And she's just really sad because Liam was born in their house. Debbie and Carl were born in their house.
The way she says it, though, she goes like, Liam was born in there. And then it's like she almost remembers. She was like, oh, and Carl and Debbie.
Yeah. And then Sean chimes in with, you were abused and neglected and saddled with the burden of raising 5 kids in this house. Speak on it, King.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, I love him. Suddenly, Fiona pops out of bed because she's like, oh shit, I forgot something at the house. And he's like, go, get it before the new owners get there. I will watch Liam. How are you so awesome? And he goes, trial and error. He's so funny. I'm so sad already because I love him.
Ha ha ha. You still have a while. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're good. You're chilling.
She's like me. She gets hormonal and starts crying because he's so good.
And he's like, oh my God, enough. And she's like, okay.
At college, Ian wakes Lip up by throwing a pillow at his head. Emmy award-winning Jeremy Allen White, by the way.
Woo.
He asks Lip's advice about dating. And then the sound of Mickey's name just makes me weep. I'm just so sad. Every time they mention him, I'm so sad. And Ian's like, me and Mickey never went on dates. Ned never took me out. Cash and me fucked in the back of the convenience store. And I don't think jerking off guys at the club counts.
Babe.
Sheila just has such a good understanding of everyone's or she just has such a good memory of
Their
like
inner
past
thoughts.
storylines, I feel like.
Yeah. It's like she's watched the show.
Like every time she writes an episode, it feels like it's consistent.
She's like, oh, wait, you actually pay attention to the show you're writing for?
She's like, right, pfft, Ian had a boyfriend before this. Everybody else forgot, but I didn't.
And Lip asks...
But you're right, though. You're so right, though.
And like with like Debbie and stuff, it's like she and Carl being like a good friend, it's like she understands everybody's characterization much better than a lot of the other writers did, I think.
Yup. Lip asks about dating. He's like, how hard can it be? You eat, you drink, you bang until your balls fall off. And Ian asks, well, what do I wear? And Lip's like, I don't know. I have also never been on a real date. I don't fucking know what you wear on a date. And then Lip's resident friend stops by to tell Lip the picture made its way off of university websites and is now on the real actual internet. Everywhere, everybody can see it.
Boo.
The Helene picture. And Lip is now he's got like 100 emails, and he's being asked to appear before a faculty disciplinary committee.
Y'all have any scandals at your colleges?
Colleges, no. High school, yes. One of the gym teachers one time came in with a black eye, and we asked him, hey, what's up with a black eye? And he said, oh, I tripped and I fell and I smacked my face on a doorknob. No, he tripped and fell into the other gym teacher, and her husband walked in and punched him in the face.
Oh my gosh. At least that's a case of like
crazy.
misunderstanding. Oh wait, no. You mean tripped and
No,
fell
no,
like
no.
you like they were
No,
hooking
no,
up?
no.
I'm sorry, I
They
thought you
were
were being
fucking.
legit.
Yeah.
No, they were
No,
fucking.
I love that play on her.
Tripped and
But it
fell
did take me a second as
And
well.
also fucked her.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure we had some. I just can't remember off the top of my head right now.
I obviously didn't go to college, but at my high school, it was like the year right before I got there. Like one of the teachers was like sleeping with one of the students.
Ooh.
And then I just found out, like, because I still work locally to where I, like, grew up. And so, like, every now and then I'll get, like, someone who is a couple grades above me coming in and be like, oh, hey, are you? And we're like, yeah, what's up? I had this one girl come in the other day and tell me another teacher got fired for having, I can't think of the word right, having not a serious relationship with a minor.
Whew.
Yeah. Or, like... What word am I trying to think of?
I don't know. 16 will
I
get
don't
you
know.
20 though, babe.
But yeah, no. I think that's about it. I don't think anything at colleges that my friends. I don't even think so.
I had like, this wasn't a teacher thing, but 2 of my friends were hooking up in the auditorium at school, and they got brought in front of the principal because there are cameras in the auditorium.
Oh,
That's crazy.
That's
And
classic.
they played the video in front of their parents.
No, that's crazy.
One of them was not out to his mom at the time.
Oh, was it two
Yup.
dudes? Okay, also, but showing that video of two children doing that to multiple other adults, maybe we shouldn't be watching the video?
Yeah.
Like a screen grab could... Oh, picture tells
Or
1,000 words,
tell
guys.
them. Just tell them that they got caught doing a thing.
I feel like that's believable enough, being like, your kids were fucking in the auditorium.
Yeah.
That's more believable than being like, do you want to watch this, like, softcore? Anyways, sorry, but... Scandals.
Over to Debbie and Frank at the doctor. This scene was actually very, very sweet. She's getting an ultrasound, and Frank is reminiscing about Monica's first picture of Fiona and how she looked like a rotting apricot. And he said, came out perfect, though.
She really did.
He said to Debbie, before we knew your gender, we called you the tumor. Then you were a girl. All of a sudden, you were Debbie.
I think that is such a funny thing to call a baby, the tumor. I think that is really funny and really endearing. Thank you, Sheila Callahan.
Yeah, like, and then all of a sudden you were Debbie? God, that was lovely.
And he says that while, like, they're both looking at the sonogram, and it's like, ugh.
And Debbie can't decide if she wants to know if it's a boy or a girl. So the doctor's like, how about this? I will write it down, I will put it in an envelope, and then you can decide to look at it later. And as she's writing it down, Frank sneaks a peek and goes, I was hoping for that, and leaves. Fuck you! It was so cute!
I can't believe Bill.
I love Bill.
He got nominated a couple times, but he never won, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, depending on...
Did any of the Shamey cast win for something?
Joan, once.
Joan.
But
Yeah.
depending on who he was up against, maybe that was the right decision. I don't remember who he was up against.
Yeah.
But 2016 comedy? Probably Modern Family?
Were they comedy at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Modern Family.
Back to Fiona. She's breaking into the house so that she can remember the moment that I mentioned of her checking the heights on the closet door? She's breaking in the house to take the closet door that has all of their height charts on it. I love that shit. And as she's like, she like busts in the back window and like is tearing the thing off. And then
she like throws a brick through the window.
The new owner and the inspector are at the house. And baby, name a problem that a house could have. This house has it. Mold, termites, rot. Copper pipes are gone. There's a family living underneath the house. And, like, every problem it can have.
Oh my god, I forgot about
it.
that. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And then, like, the inspector lists off all the things. And then Fiona adds in, and the toilet backs up once a month and the pipes freeze every winter. She's like, yeah, it's a shithole.
But it's ours.
Yeah. They say it's going to cost $150,000 to fix everything, and the inspector advises throwing this turd back in the sewer. At school, Lip waits for Helene, but as he's following behind her trying to apologize, bitch keeps walking. She does not turn and acknowledge he exists.
Good, as she fucking should.
I mean, she could have handled this better too, but...
Well, obviously in a public setting, they shouldn't be talking to each other when all this shit's going out.
I hate, like...
But obviously, she could have handled it better. I do agree with that
I
statement.
hate miscommunication as a reason that things fall apart. Like, you should have had... Scream at each other if you want, but you should have had a private conversation about all of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frank, meanwhile, is at the hospital waiting on Cancer Lady's appointment update. And the news is bad because it's fantastic. She's in remission. And she's going to live a really long time.
What form of cancer did she have again?
Breast cancer? I don't know. They never say.
Yeah.
They never.
Yeah.
But what did they say? What stage she was?
I think 3.
I was gonna say 2 or 3.
But yeah, Frank's like, oh shit, she's gonna live. I must shift gears now. Then we go over to Carl and Nick. They're shopping for cars. They're looking at an old cop car. Nick doesn't want a car. He wants his goddamn bike back.
Yeah.
And he even tells the guy that's selling them the car, he's like, I don't have a fucking license. And this guy is shady. He's like, I do not care. Do you have cash?
Yeah, it's just like a junkyard that's just selling a bunch of cars. He didn't give a fuck.
It's like, do you have cash? Here are the keys. Goodbye. At the bank. Fiona wasted no time. The moment that she thought that the house was that they were gonna back out of the deal, she ran to the bank. And they did. The family backed out of the deal. And she takes the chance, and she's like, "Can I still buy the house?" And they said, "Yeah." She's like, "Good. I want to buy the fucking house."
I still can't believe being able to like commit to an auction like that and have never stepped foot in the place and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna drop $100,000 on."
Well, I guess
piece
it's
of
because
shit.
they give them time to back out if they want to. But
Yeah,
I can't
think
believe
it's like 30 days.
I can't believe that the storyline got resolved so quickly. It was like 2 episodes
Yeah.
of we don't have
Within
a house,
an episode.
and now they're like, we have a house again.
Well, she is at the bank. She still has the loan. She can put the down payment on right now. She's going to sign all this paperwork. But one of the papers includes a paper for Gus to sign, saying that he has no claim on the house, even though they're still married.
Are they in the midst of divorce proceedings, or does that not come until later?
No.
Well, she was going to ask him for a divorce during the Fuck You Fiona.
F you, Fiona.
Yeah.
Right.
And then after this is when we get the whole saga
About the
of
ring.
the back and forth.
Yeah, okay.
So this is pre that, where she's like, "Damn it, now I actually have to contact
But
him," because like
did
her and
he-
V have a conversation.
Did he come to her yet and be like, I have a new girlfriend who I want to propose
No.
to? Okay, that's later.
No, that's later. Yeah.
So now she has to get in contact with Gus to have him sign this paper so that she can buy the house. Meanwhile, Debbie is spending the day with Cancer Mom's kids. This must be a weekend. This episode must be during a weekend.
Days aren't
Because nobody's in school.
But also they're homeless, so like, why would you go to school?
Yeah. They're doing arts and crafts. The woman wakes up from a nap and asks Debbie about her appointment, about the ultrasound. And Cancer Mom says, "Debbie, you should have a gender reveal party. You can have it at the house. You can invite your family. Let's have like a warm, loving, wonderful thing, because the woman does not yet know that she is no longer dying of cancer." So she's like, "Let's have a happy party."
And she's also like, low-key, Debbie, I'm into you. Whatever. So fucked up, actually. Well, Debbie lied and said that she was 18, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still fucked up.
Yeah. We are 15 minutes into this episode. This is the first Kev sighting.
We had a lot to get through.
Yeah. We see Kev.
With that previously, dude, you had to fill us
Yeah.
in.
We see Kev at the Alibi for the first time in this episode. He's trying to make a sign to ward off the hipsters who are already not coming to the bar anymore. Dyslexic Kev.
Doesn't it say like no man buns, like, and a couple, or like no like electric bikes or something, or electric car? I don't know, some bullshit on the sign, all spelled
And with
wrong.
like backwards S's and stuff and R's.
And Kev's like, "I want to show the regulars that we are loyal to them." And Svet says, "In my country we have saying, stay away from men with excessive facial hair." And Tommy goes, "Is that true?" She looks him dead in the face and goes, "No, you dumb fuck. Everything I say is bullshit, but you believe me because I have an accent and I never smile."
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it. You simplified Svetlana's character down to one sentence.
Oh, wasn't fucking Isadora in an episode of Grey's?
Yes, she was.
I saw that clip the other day on TikTok, and then it's weird because I really don't see that much like Isadora in the public like videos and stuff like that. So when I hear her without an accent, I'm like, I forgot that she just also just talks like this. She can just do a really good accent because she's actually from there.
But I loved her delivery there. Tommy going, "Is that true?" And she's like in his face. She's like, "No, you dumb fuck."
The way she like turns to him, I'm like, ooh, he's about to get beat
Like,
down.
I am lying.
Well, she
to
like
you,
broke her.
you
She
idiot.
broke her facade for a second too. She was like, "Are you serious? Like, you actually think so?"
And Kev says, "From now on, free well drinks for anyone who comes in with an eviction notice, an EBT card, or an unemployment stub."
Let's go for the people.
Yeah. And then King of the Freeloaders, Frank, comes strolling out of the bathroom and launches into a rant about how bad it is to cure cancer.
He's so dramatic.
And Kermit's like, "Okay, shut the fuck up." And like just blows him off.
Loki, the
Thank you,
funniest
King.
character in the entire show. Kermit.
Yeah, he and Tommy are like the
Brilliant.
old men in the theater in the Muppets, just like sitting back
My
there.
brother mentioned to me the other day, because we were watching like a Blue Jackets game or something, Columbus Blue Jackets, the hockey team, and he was like, "Oh, just like Tommy and Shameless," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You never noticed? Like, we're from Columbus, and you never noticed that Tommy wears a Blue Jackets hat the entirety of Shameless?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" And then he showed me a picture, and he was right.
Oh shit!
Damn. He got you on that
You
shit.
unlocked something.
I was like, no, I wasn't fucking looking at Tommy's hat.
Was it your younger brother?
My younger brother, yeah.
The goat. I love him.
Hi, Lena's brother.
He's the best.
And then Debbie walks in to the alibi, and Frank makes the weirdest pregnancy announcement. He said, "My winsome young progeny here is with sperm." Why?
Get out of here.
And he said, "Gonna be a grandfather for the first time." To which Kev says, "I thought Chucky was your grandson." And Frank says there's no way that R-word donut is a Gallagher.
Bruh. Bruh button.
So funny.
We need a soundboard.
Oh my god, we need a soundboard.
How would we even do that?
I can do
Oh
some
my God.
research, maybe. Yes, I want to run the
Let's do
soundboard.
it.
I want to run the
Soundboard.
soundboard so bad. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna look into
You
it.
get a soundboard,
Oh
Lena.
my
I'm gonna look into
All
it.
you.
I don't know how to
yeah.
make it like record into our recording though. That's something
You
I'll
just
have to
play
find
it
out.
might
on
have
your
to-
end.
Huh?
You just play it on your end.
Yeah, but I can't play it out loud.
Yeah, you can. Into the mic.
But why would I do that? Because then I'll have to disconnect from my headphones and then you can hear you guys talking.
You could share the sounds with me and hit them in the like during the recording in real time, and I will edit them in like.
No, I know,
Where
but
they're
then
supposed to
my mic is
Or it's a
also going
separate
to pick
recording.
up you guys talking. I think I could just do a separate recording. It would
Okay.
it would
I bet you
it would
could, like,
also
just-
pick
I
up
bet
you guys
you-
talking because my
Your
headphones
mic
wouldn't be
doesn't
on.
pick up us talking.
Because I have headphones on.
No, but if you hook your soundboard up to your computer,
Oh. I'll see. I'll figure it out.
We could be like a separate recording that you just sync up with everything, so then it just plays at
Yeah.
the correct moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Anyway,
Anyways, sorry guys.
6 seasons in. Debbie tells Frank that he's right about Erica and things are getting weird. And he tells her, lean into it. Erica is going to live, but he hasn't told her yet. So now, Debbie, slide on in there, learn how to finger a woman, or else she's going to end up on the side of the road when they fire her for being no longer a necessary nanny. And then Frank starts laying out the finer points of how to please a woman in bed. And Kev's head pops up like a meerkat in the background when Frank is going through that. Just like he cannot understand the words that Frank is saying. And Tommy chimes in with, a lesson in parenting, gentlemen.
Insane.
And Debbie's like, yeah, I will not be fucking my way through this family. Thank you so much. I will find my own way in without sex.
Sure you will. Why do most families get broken up, Debbie? Because of sex. It's a powerful tool.
Right? Meanwhile, at school, Lip comes banging down Amanda's door. Speaking of sex ruining shit, he asks her to do something to help Helene out here. And Amanda's like, no, fuck you. You should have thought about the consequences. No, she should have thought about the consequences before she fucked her student. And you should treat the women you sleep with better.
It's also like, what is she supposed to do? All she did was paint the wall. She didn't take the picture of Helene. Lip did that, didn't she? Oh, no. She stole the picture, didn't she?
She leaked the picture.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I forgot. But also, it's like, no one needs to know that. They can't trace that back to her.
The damage is already done. There's nothing.
Yeah. And she says she's been getting death threats about this, so her parents are making her leave campus until it blows over. So it's like, yeah, it's the internet. There is nothing she can do now. It is on the internet. And then we cut to Fiona, who got a call back from Gus, and she tells him she just needs him to sign some papers so that she can buy the house back. And he hangs up on her.
What
What a
a
guy.
dick, though. That's her house.
Right?
Like, just sign
like,
some
They don't give a
papers.
fuck.
Right after he hangs up on her, Debbie comes walking up with the cancer kids. And she comes to the diner and she asks Fiona, have you killed my unborn niece or nephew yet? And then she
Crazy statement from her.
invites Fiona to the gender reveal party. And Debbie's like, I need to talk to you even though we hate each other right now, but I can't because you don't support me. And Fiona says, I do support you. I just don't support your choices. And Debbie says, I am my choices, Fiona. Why don't you see that?
Powerful.
Yeah. I had to think about that one for a second, but yeah.
Like, you are your choices, and they are bad ones. Both things are true.
Both things can
And
be
then
true.
And then Gus texts Fiona with a 3-hour window of when he can meet her at the alibi.
He says like 9 to 12,
Yeah.
right?
And yeah, she's like, a 3-hour fucking window. She's so mad. And then we cut to Ian on the date with Caleb at the fancy restaurant. He orders a fancy wine and a bunch of appetizers, and Ian is so uncomfortable.
Okay.
That is too much food for
Also,
appetizers.
first of all, on a first date, he's taking him to this nice ass restaurant. Like, I get that he's like, he's got a city job and he does art on the side or whatever, but it's like, that's a little like coming on strong, especially for a first date.
And you can tell Ian is so uncomfortable too.
Especially with a guy that you know comes from like a low income background. I just feel like that's a little like, it's kind of a power play. Is that crazy?
I feel like that's their whole dynamic the entire time. Like, even when, like, I don't know if this is the episode when him and they go to the doctor or something like that. That might be like it.
No, it's later. But I'm like, this is a show of dominance. This is him being like, I know more than you. I'm more cultured than you. Like,
And he continues to play that way.
it pisses me off.
I know. I do
sucks.
You immediately hate him in this. Like, I can't fucking stand him.
He lacks like a lot of empathy for Ian's,
awareness,
like whole background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he asks about Ian's family. He's like, you seem like a pensive only child. This chemistry is dust. There's nothing here.
Ian's like, you would think, but you would be wrong. You would be so fucking wrong.
Like, these two actors have no chemistry with each other. It's horrible to watch.
If you guys don't have real life gay allegations, I can't get behind it. I can't.
Yes. And, like, can we not describe Mickey as a domestic abuser? Like, he was the only one who ever shown Ian any kind of kindness or love or sympathy or care. Like, especially toward the end, Ian was the aggressive one. Ian was the one pushing the physical violence, and Mickey was the one trying to, like, be adults in a relationship. God, it makes me so mad. It makes me so angry.
Yeah.
And Caleb calls Ian a street rat, a brawler. And Ian says, is that a problem? And Caleb says, only if you make it one? Go fuck yourself.
No, Caleb just, like, has too much class that he thinks he's so much better.
Ugh. Ian is a project to him, and I hate it. And he gets a call, a guy is calling out of work, and he's like, I have to go. Somebody's calling out of work. And Ian talks his way into going with him on the call, which you can't do.
No, absolutely not.
You can't just go on a firefighter's call with him.
The fact that he let him is crazy.
Right? We cut to Debbie frantically ordering last-minute gender reveal cupcakes for the morning. It's a nothing scene. Nothing happens here.
Yeah. Bitchy Baker.
24 minutes in, first V sighting of the episode. She's reading her girls and the refugee girl a bedtime story. The refugee girl mimes Goldilocks getting killed, and V's like, no. Goldilocks is a good person. We do not kill good people. And
but she's so right. Goldilocks breaking and entering, eating their stuff, and then what is
Sleeping
the
in their
fucking
bed.
word? Yeah. And then squatting. Illegal.
And she says, we do not kill good people. And the girl says, then who? And V's like, no one. We kill no one. Meanwhile, I'm starting to come around to Ewan's. I like him.
Oh, he's fun. He's
Yeah.
interesting.
I like him.
He's kind of what Lib needed.
Yeah.
Like in this storyline, like a good like entertaining
until-
dynamic. Not like
He
like
still
what
sticks
Lib
around
actually needed, 'cause
until-
if anything he made him worse.
Yeah.
But
Turned him into
yeah.
him.
Well, although he is the one to kind of step in and be like, you are on a bad path. You are turning out like me.
Oh.
Because he sticks around until what, like 7 or 8?
They have like a relationship until like 7, and then I think he returns in like late season 8 or
In
9.
8 for what happens.
You don't remember what happens, or
No,
Yeah,
I
I do
know
too.
What happens when I'm
Yeah.
not saying anything.
but yeah, he's the one. He is the one who
Card,
gets
yeah.
Lip into treatment though.
Rehab.
But for now, we're in his office. They're talking about the Helene situation.
Fuck you, fuck scene. Let's go.
Lip wants Helene to not lose her job and to not dump him. And Ewan's like, you cannot have both of those things. If she loses her job, she will resent you and dump you. If she does not dump you, she will lose her job. So he said, remember this. We only have 2 jobs on this earth. The first, to learn. The second, to cope.
Damn.
And Lip asks, does coping mean walking through life shit-faced? And then Ewan's opens up about his wife and child leaving him for someone who was less of a fuck-up. And Lip raises his glass and cheers to to finding something worth learning and to coping with it. Poetry. And Frank. This is Frank. Like, that is some shit Frank would say. Am I wrong? Like,
no, it
this
is
Professor Frank.
That's why
Yeah.
Ewan's is like what Lip needed, or the dynamic that Lip needed, because he is a lot like Frank. And but obviously, like, in a more logical sense, it's not like Lip can interact with someone like Frank while he's at college.
Yeah.
But he also kind of accepts a lot from Ewan's, because Ewan's is what Frank is if Frank had continued college.
Yeah. He's Frank with a degree.
Right. And so Lip, like, finds connection with him there in the, like, academia. But then I think he sticks around because he reminds him of Frank. And, like, in an environment that's so unfamiliar to him, like, being at college. Like, I remember how much he struggled with, like, going to that party and all the, like, rich people were there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he kept trying to, like, differentiate himself. Like, that's something that, like, reminds him of home.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, here is a guy who is like me, who is also in this world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also not something he, like, has to take responsibility for. Like, if Ewan's, like, I don't know, in a certain sense he does as a TA, because it's like, well, if Ewan's doesn't show up to class, Lip has to teach the class. But it's also like, if Ewan's, you know, mouths off to the wrong person, it's not like Lip has to step in and fix it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like a weird, like, better version of his relationship with Frank almost.
Yeah. Then we go back to Carl and Nick. Carl says, once we have $1 million, I'm buying a house. And Nick goes, not with me. I want a farm full of animals. No people. I'm not good with people. And Carl's like, what about me? You're good with me. And he's like, you're not really people. You're real. Like, no one else is like you. Like,
Aw.
I am so sad. I want him to have a farm full of animals. I want, besides the fucking black scent that Carl is putting on, he's a good friend to this man.
Oh, don't
They are
worry.
good friends
He
with
drops
each
that
other.
shit quick.
Ugh.
Quick.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it breaks my heart. This is a well-constructed, devastating storyline. It's beautiful and heartbreaking and sad and amazing and horrible.
Well, and just as much good as the actors put into it. Like, I feel like Ethan doesn't get a lot of props because Carl as a character is pretty surface level most of the time. But he really stepped up, I feel like. And, of course, the guy who played Nick was amazing.
Ugh. We go to the alibi where a bunch of people who meet Kev's specifications of, like, unemployment stub, eviction notice, all of that, come in for their free drinks. And a hipster comes in, and Kev's like, fuck off forever, and kicks him out the door. And Fiona is waiting at the bar for Gus, who's been standing her up, and she's got a notary next to her. They've been there for hours, and Gus has not shown up. And Frank says he and Debbie might need a place, like, now. They might get kicked out of the cancer house. Fiona's like, there's no fucking way that if I get my house back, you are slipping under my roof. No way. And on his way out the door, he lets it slip that Debbie is having a girl.
On purpose. So on purpose, right?
Yeah. The way she perks up and just, like, to herself, she's like, Debbie's having a girl?
Yeah. She starts to thaw when she hears that. The notary has to leave. Gus officially cancels on Fiona. Back to Ian. He gets out of the rig that he shouldn't have been able to go on Caleb's domestic violence call. It's a woman who was being abused, so she stabbed her husband. He's laying in the street. The firefighters have to legally tend to the more injured person. So the woman is sitting, suffering on the curb. She's also hurt. Her arm is fucked up. And Ian walks over, gives her his jacket, and uses his medical knowledge he picked up in basic to put a splint on her arm. And, like, Caleb comes over and goes like, yo, you do not know what you're doing. You can't do that. And Ian's like, I learned this in basic. Calm down.
Well, it's like you're legally not allowed to, I don't think.
Yeah, no, he's intervening.
But, like, all he did was put her arm in a splint. He's like, I learned how to do this in basic. This is, like, step one stuff. And then Caleb takes over the rest. And you can kind of see, like, while Ian is standing there watching all of it happen, like, a light bulb went off in his head. It's like, oh, I like helping people. And this helped people. Maybe I can do this. He gets a little drive. I do like, that's the only aspect of this I like. It reinstilling a drive in Ian is nice. Fiona gets back to Sean's place. Gus texted her at 1:07 a.m. Bring my grandmother's ring and meet me at Patsy's in the morning. Sean, who spent the day with Liam and Will, took them go-karting and gave them candy and let them pass out when their sugar rush wore off under their mountain of comic books in the living room.
So cute.
And Fiona's like, I remember when Lip and Ian were that young, passing out over a pile of comics in their little footy pajamas. And she starts crying.
Oh my god, girl.
And he's like, we need to rest. We got a big day tomorrow. And she's like, why do you need to rest? You're not coming. And he's like, yes, I am. And he's like, I know you're fine. I'm still coming. I'm not trying to be a hero. I'm trying to be your partner. I'm coming. And then this is like a very dramatic, like, time is passing shot of trains and trains and trains.
Oh, like
and
a time lapse?
Setting, and it's dark. Yeah. Night to day, Helene's hearing. They ask, how long did you know Helene before you became intimate? And then a lot of very intrusive questions of what they did sexually in that half hour.
My favorite thing is this, like, how long did you know Helene before becoming intimate? And he goes, like 5 minutes.
It's like, and the sex you had, was it penetrative? Like, okay.
Like, you don't need
and
to
he's
know.
Like, did you do her or did she do you? And he's like, whoa.
And he asks if Helene coerced him into doing it. And they ask, did you get favors in exchange for the sex? And Lip is like, I'm not a victim. She didn't take advantage. It was consensual. I wanted to fuck. We fucked. It was consensual.
Did he ever end up dropping her class, though?
I don't know. I don't know that
because I think
they
would have I think they would have less of a problem if it was like we started hooking up and I dropped her class then. She told me to leave her class, so I did.
Makes me think that he probably still attended if those are like
right. If they're like, did you get like good grades in return? It's like, well, yeah, he was probably in. Yeah,
we like stopped seeing any of Lip's classes besides like Ewan's class.
Yeah, we slide on over in the middle of this was really cool. Like in this room with Lip asking very invasive questions, transitioning over to Fiona in the middle of her abortion. Like just. Story-wise, that was a gorgeous transition. I thought that was really cool. Like, uncomfortable, upsetting questioning to an invasive, uncomfortable procedure. It was good. It was slick. You know how I'd been complaining about the pacing of all the episodes? Mm-hmm. This was a smooth episode.
Sheila Callahan.
If no one got us, Sheila got us.
Yeah. And Emmy handles, just like she handled the getting frisked in prison scene beautifully, she handles this abortion scene really beautifully. It's simple, it's relatively quick, but it's still like quiet but powerful. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Sean's waiting for her when she comes out of the abortion, and we get mild pad slander.
She always does, and it's like, no, pads are good for you.
She's like, it feels like I'm wearing a diaper.
You're not supposed to wear tampons all the time. Toxic shock syndrome.
Embrace the pad, Fiona. You get the right one, and it doesn't and then it's not wet, and you just gotta have the right one. Like,
just don't wear micro underwear, and you can. It's fine.
Yeah. You get a cotton one, and they dry usually. Like, it's fine. We're pro pad here. Sean checks in that she's okay. And she said, I'm just devastated. I'm not drinking a milkshake right now.
I understand her. I have ice cream in the fridge downstairs.
I literally picked up ice cream today after work. I was like, I don't care that it's 16 degrees outside. I want some ice cream.
No, after this, I'm so gonna I can't make a milkshake, but I'm so gonna go get a cup of ice cream, put a little milk in it, and make it softer.
Just stir that shit up.
Yeah, it's Ben and Jerry's too.
And he takes her to go get that milkshake. And we cut to Nick and Carl picking Debbie up for her party. They're driving along when all of a sudden Nick sees his bike. A kid is riding it. And he whips the car around. He follows the kid to where he lives and watches the kid take the bike in the house. And Nick tries to talk Nick down. Carl tries to talk Nick down. He said, think of the farm. Think of the cows. And it seems to work. And Nick gives up in this moment and drives away. At Patsy's, Fiona gets her milkshake. Gus is still dragging his feet.
She's dipping her fries in it.
Yeah. Gus is still dragging his feet. And she says, if he stands me up again, I am showing up at his apartment with a notary in one hand and a baseball bat in the other.
She's so real.
And Sean's like, why is getting this house so important? And Fiona says, honestly, I am not entirely sure anymore. Which is fair. She's like, the fight is getting so hard, she's starting to give up.
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. They gutted that place already.
And she doesn't feel like she has any real backup. Like, she's doing it on her own. Like, it's starting to get too hard. And she says she will not be going to Debbie's party. And Sean says, you will always be the person who raised them, regardless of what they do or where they live. And she says, what if I don't want to be that person anymore? What if I just want to be their sister?
Damn.
She's never gotten to just be their sister. She's their mom. She's perhaps Lip's sister. Like, that's the most she's ever gotten to be, but, like, she's their mom.
But that's also because Lip, like, yeah, because Lip is the dad. So it's like...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she hasn't gotten to be a part of the family. She's been in charge of the family for her entire life.
Yeah, like, even in some of the earlier seasons, like, Fiona was in charge and Lip was still in school and stuff like that. So it's like, he did get to be a brother.
Yeah. We do a hard cut. Kev is turning away a mob of hipsters because all of a sudden, now that they're not wanted, they want in to the alibi. There's a hipster that Svet clocks. He snuck in the back, and Kev walks up to him and asks for his ghetto cred. And the kid hands him a book of stamps.
That part's actually really funny.
Kev's like, what are these? Kev's like, they're food stamps. And Kev's like, these are stamps. Do you know what food stamps look like?
Oh my god.
And Kev's like, I'll tell you what, I'll let you stay because you got guts, but you got to pay a cover. And he goes, of 5, and he keeps looking at V. 10? 20? 20. You got to pay $20. And Kev lets them know he will let in 4 hipsters an hour at $20 a head. But he's...
That scene is funny because he says that, he opens his door, says that, and then closes the door again.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, I need some time to prepare.
And he says to V, like, in order to maintain this policy, it's like, we need to get a scary bouncer, like pants shittingly scary. And
that's you, boo.
And we go over to Ian at going to Caleb's apartment. He looks at Caleb's art. Caleb is a found objects artist. He likes to find...
It's weak.
Yeah.
His art's mid.
That one, that's just like the... Yes! I was...
Like, the meme.
The big stick figure, that was memed to all hell back in the day.
You do not
It was so
understand how
funny.
much. It's just like the little, like, teapot pose. It's the funniest fucking thing
Oh my
ever.
god.
Like,
people made so many
God.
fucking memes out of that. Like, art, like, the screenshot of that, like, thing. So funny.
I can't even remember what the memes were, but that photo was
It was kind of
everywhere.
just like a reaction image, but then I think it was also like sort of a... Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was just used as a reaction image, but like every time
It
it just
hit.
was like funnier and funnier because it's just like no emotion, obviously, because it's a metal.
Well, it doesn't
stick
have a
figure.
face,
but
it's just a circle.
Yeah, but damn me.
Yeah. We'll have to post it. We'll have to post it when this episode comes out.
And, well, Caleb says he likes to find treasure in the trash.
Boo.
And Ian asks, is that what you're doing with me?
Boo.
If he has to ask that.
Boy, you're not worth his dime.
And remember how we said Sheila was Miss Galovich? Miss Galovich, why the fuck do you keep slandering Mickey in this episode? Why do you keep bringing up his name to drag him through the mud? I am so mad.
Selective memory.
She wants to tickle.
He says, I thought kissing comes after you've had sex a bunch of times. Go fuck yourself! Ah!
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Ian. What are you talking about?
Like, Sheila, why are we treating Ian like he's an idiot? Why are we treating him like he's stupid and doesn't know how a date
Well, it's like
works
Ian
or
was
what,
a hopeless
like-
romantic. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
Is anybody else... I just got
Ian,
like the weirdest flashback. Is anybody else remembering Byron from when Mickey and Ian broke up for like a couple episodes?
Oh, God.
That was so funny.
Oh, God.
He's like, it's the fucking love boat up there.
Like, fuck you. Like, I hate... Within the Mickey slander, they're treating Ian like he's stupid. And
They're babying him, and I'm like, this man knows exactly where he is.
Yeah.
He's a little lost, but he knows.
He and Cash, like, dated as much as a 16-year-old could date a 30-year-old man. Like, this relationship is boring. It's boring and stupid, and I hate it. Nick and Caleb are over the house for the gender reveal, but Cancer Mom gets a call from her doctor, and Nick, while they are distracted, gets up and speeds off in his car, and Carl goes running after him. Erica comes in the room from her phone call. Debbie and Frank pretend they don't notice that she's in the room, and she's like, Frank, I think if the baby is a boy, I'm going to name it Eric. And if it's a girl, I'm going to name it Erica. I'm going to name the baby after Erica because she's trying to find a way to remain in the family.
Just horrible. So horrible.
And Erica announces to them that she is in remission. She is not cured, but she is out of the woods with cancer. Good for her.
Snaps all around.
Back to Lip. And Debbie and Frank react like, oh my god! Like she said she got a good parking spot.
You're like, oh my god, that's awesome! Yay!
Back to Lip and Helene at the hearing. She takes accountability that sleeping with a student was a mistake, and she's willing to take a leave of absence and break up with Lip. And the board recommends counseling because they know this is not the first time that she has fucked a student.
Did she admit to this, or do you think she's been caught before?
I think they don't have proof, but they all know.
Okay.
Like,
they're like, she's hot, she's fucking.
Well, no, like, because everybody on campus is like, that's her thing. Once a year, she picks a student and she fucks the student. So, like, they know it's a thing, but they don't. This is the first time they've had, like, evidence.
They might have talked to her husband, too. He probably could have snitched anonymously, been like, yeah, she does this.
Yeah.
That's, like, part of our relationship, low-key.
And they offer mental health services to Lip to help him cope with this. And he said, I don't need to fucking cope with this. Me and Helene are in love.
Bro, you sound crazy.
Now you're insane in the membrane.
She looks him in the face and says, the relationship has been terminated.
Ugh.
And after the meeting, he chases her out of the building. And she will not stop walking long enough to talk to him until he, like, badgers her enough that she whips around and she's like, do not talk to me, do not text me, do not have any contact with me or my husband or my son. And she, like, walks off and Lip is just left there fucking spiraling. I know that he ends up in a dark place because I the context of seasons 10 and 11, and, like, I can see him going over a cliff in this.
That seems crazy though. It's fun.
And then, oh, fuck.
Ugh.
This is the darkest, most fucked up thing Shameless has ever done.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we see Carl grab a skateboard, go frantically running to that kid's house that we saw that had Nick's bike.
He knew exactly where he was going.
And Nick is sitting there on the front porch with his head in his hands and the sound of a woman wailing in the house. And Nick has a blood-covered hammer sitting next to him.
The gut-wrenching, like, what did you do? Like, that Ethan gives. Oh my god, it's
but he already knows, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, what'd you do?
He doesn't want it to be true. He's like, what the fuck did you do? And he walks in and he sees, and he comes out and pukes over the railing because Nick beat this kid to death with the hammer. He beat a child to death with the hammer because of this bike.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Okay. Wait, it's just a woman. It's just the mother there, no dad.
I think all you can hear is the mom.
He does return to the
and
house
talks
in
to
like
the dad.
an episode or two.
Okay.
They both open the door, but in this scene you only
obviously
hear
I can see, like, I can see in the way of, like, I can understand why he did this, but more like I can see why Nick killed the kid, but, like, more logically, I guess I'm like, I don't assume that the kid would have been the one to have stolen his bike. I would have assumed that it would have been the dad who saw it on the street and was like, oh my god, this would be perfect for my kid.
Yeah.
because, like, what kid can just, like, rip up a chain like that? Like, handy dandy.
I mean, like, they live in the South Side. Maybe the kid did steal the bike. Like, maybe he did.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's not as likely to me. Like, I'm sure that's probably the implication of what happened, or that's, like, what Nick assumed happened because he was that kind of kid who had that skill set, but it makes it so much more sad to me because I assume that, like, the father was the one who actually stole the bike.
Yeah.
You know?
But, like, what the fuck? Like, this show has done some fucked up dark stuff, but that, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting him to have murdered the child for the bike.
Yeah. No, very, very dark.
It's, like, it happened and I, like, paused the episode. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
and
up.
And he is on the porch and he tells Carl, you gotta go. They called the cops. Like, you better split.
No, I think he goes, I already called the cops.
I
You should go.
think
I think he called them.
He knew he was done.
Called him on himself.
And, like, I cannot believe that this is not the main crux of this episode. That this is a footnote.
Or, like, the
towards
last scene.
end of this episode.
Like, why is it not the last scene is kind of the question. But I do think that the actual last scene is probably a better choice.
It's more relevant that will continue on versus, like, this is
I guess
like a wrap
it's
on
kind
Nick,
of the
basically.
third act climax.
Yeah. Like, I wrote this as, like, I do not know how to move on from this scene. Because what the fuck did I just watch?
But the show forces you to. Like, you just have to.
It doesn't give you a second to process.
Not move on, but, like, you have to keep watching because the episode's not over.
Like, it's hands down the most fucked up thing the show's ever done. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
It's excellent writing, but it's horrifying.
That reminds me of, I recently just watched, or I finished The Curse, the Nathan Fielder show.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god. Okay, it's pretty slow, but the payoff, the ending is a little controversial, I think, because some people thought it was stupid. I loved it. I was fascinated. I was scared. Like, actually scared. Or, I don't know, I was watching it, and, like, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but I was, like, sick to my stomach for the last, like, half hour of the last episode. Even though, like, I knew how it was ultimately going to end, I was, like, just based on, you know, the circumstances that the characters were in, I was sick to my fucking stomach waiting for it to happen.
Ooh, I'm really excited. I definitely want to check it out. The only clip I think you'll want to drop it because it does get kind of slow. But if you care about, like, the characters or you're more just, like, you want to see the show get more and more, like, cringe and uncomfortable, which is kind of what happens, then it's like you'll be fine. Gotcha. The only clip I've seen about it that I've actually been grateful that it's been so spoiler free is just, like, when she wakes up, she goes, "Why?"
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's the literal end. That's like that's the last episode. That's the last episode because, like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I've seen so far, and I was like, I kind of
because nothing else, like, supernatural happens in the season, but there's this, like, looming question of, like, is the curse real? Is it not real? Like, can you interpret some events as, like, divine intervention or supernatural intervention? But then there's always some sort of, like, explanation for it, or it's just a mystery that's left unsolved. It's really more about how the characters' actions affect people around them, like, in the actual town.
Okay,
but then in the last episode, it's like, nope, he's on the ceiling now. Like,
Okay, cool. I'm kind of disappointed that was
that
what
is
I got
such a
spoiled
bummer
for myself, it being the last episode, but I'm still
it's really
intrigued
good,
enough.
I think.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, sorry, it just reminds me of, like, being so, like, fucked up and sick and twisted. Like, I think I had the exact same feeling watching the finale of The Curse as I did, like, watching this scene, where I just felt, like, so ill.
And we take a deep breath and we move back to Fiona, still, like, recovering from her abortion, and she asks the other waitress if she has a pad.
No, she goes, "Do you have any sanitary napkins?"
I know, right?
Like, the way she says
Like,
it.
Fiona.
Why do we...
Pad slander. Is it because it's not as sexy as a tampon? Like, whatever.
Sanitary pad.
The woman
Shut
says that there might be, like, one from the 80s in the dispenser in the bathroom.
Whatever.
You're a business where people sit and eat and spend an hour or two of their time. You should have pads in the bathroom.
They don't have money for that.
Gus walks in. Fiona's like, amazing. You're here. Let's make it quick. Sign the paper. I'll get your ring from the bank in the morning because it's in a safe deposit box. And then this is over. It's not.
No, it's not.
She pawned it, right?
Yeah, she's lying.
Yeah,
to
she
him.
pawned it.
But
She's
I think
lying
she's just
to
gonna.
buy
I
herself
think
more
she's
time.
just gonna ghost him, or she's just giving herself more time to go to the pawn shop and try to ask for the ring back.
And he says cruel and terrible things to her. He calls her a lying, cheating sack of shit. He wants to know why she thinks he owes her anything, and she admits that she does not think he owes her anything. She would just appreciate the favor of relinquishing his claim on her house.
He's like, I do favors for friends, and we are not friends.
And then he pours coffee all over the papers.
This is not like a favor, though. This is like keeping her from being homeless. Like,
yeah.
Life-altering papers.
Like, she is trying to get a home for herself and her young
like it literally
siblings.
costs you
Like,
nothing to sign a paper. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
about his life was going to change.
She can pay your $250 fare and call it a
In
fucking
fact,
day.
if he doesn't sign the papers, his life is going to change more because he's now somewhat legally responsible for this house.
Yeah. I, like,
So she could just pull a fucking uncle, a cousin, whatever.
I
Cousin
understand that he is hurt
Yeah.
by the things that she did to him, and she did bad things to him. You got married after a week in bed with each other, and that was impulsive and stupid. She should give your ring back, yes. You wrote a shitty song about her because she cheated on you, fine, that's fair game. This is her home. It's her home. What the fuck is wrong with you? And because she is dealing with that, she's not at Sean's apartment when Carl shows up to Sean's apartment, wrecked. Carl is back to being the age that he
A baby.
is. Like, he is a kid who needs his mom, and he showed up at her doorstep, and he's like, is Fiona here? Can I stay the night? Like, he needs his mom. And Sean sees that in his eyes. He's like, something fucking happened. And he lets Carl into the house. Meanwhile, Frank goes to the old house and finds Chucky living under the back stairs.
That's so sad.
That poor kid. He's been squatting underneath the house for 2 days.
I was just gonna say, I was like, wait, we get to see Queenie then.
Yes. Also,
Next
shame on you
episode.
two for never telling me who Queenie was. Back at Sean's door.
She's mother.
Yeah. Chucky's living
She's
under the back
mom.
stairs. They sit together. They eat beans out of a can. Back at Sean's door. Fiona
No, Chucky goes, I pee myself at night to stay warm.
and Frank's like,
Frank's
smart.
like, yeah, he's like, good moves, kid.
And Fiona turns up at Sean's door. She's having a breakdown. She's like, he wouldn't sign the paper. I lost the loan. I lost the house. I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. And she finally starts crying and like breaking down and losing it all over him. And then we do a shot of Carl wide awake watching that happen and like seeing her break. She's like,
This episode is so long and just hurts.
she's like, I lost the loan, I lost the house, and Debbie is having a girl, and we can't talk about it, and I don't know what I'm doing. And she loses it. And like, yeah, Carl is laying in bed and sees that. And then also in bed across town, Debbie is reading What to Expect When You're Expecting. Formerly Cancer Mom comes in. She's like, I'm not going to touch you. I'm going to lay down on the floor and not touch you. I just need to like not be by myself right now.
Or
She's like,
Where's
he
the
works
husband?
nights, doesn't he?
yeah.
That's why they need Debbie in the first
Okay.
place.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Erica's like, I'm going to use this new lease on life to go to the gym and fuck women as long as my husband will let me and live my life.
She seems cool as
And
hell.
she's-
I'll say it.
Yeah.
No, she's a baddie. I love her.
And she says, I like you being here and I wish you didn't have to go. And Debbie also wishes she didn't have to go. So she gets down on the floor. She initiates Frank's plan. She gets down on the floor and starts spooning Erica.
Boo. Boo.
Boo.
Yeah. Insert Ian fully clothed in bed watching Caleb sleep.
Weird for a first date.
Oh.
Freak.
Weird for a first date. I'll say it.
Because they kissed. Like, no chemistry.
Well, it's just
Stupid.
like you're staying
No,
staying
uncomfortable.
over. I get that it's like, aw, romantic, like he's staying over on the first date, but it's like only or it's like it's non-sexual. But I'm like, no. It seemed like they
Yeah.
spent the whole time insulting each other, to be honest.
Yeah.
And not in
Yeah.
like a sexy way.
Now Ian's just like,
Ian's
fuck.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
We go back to the alibi. There's a line out the door of hipsters, and the bouncer is the young refugee girl holding a machete with a sign around her neck that says, "I'm a refugee, I eat fingers, do not fuck with me."
She's not lying.
Love her.
In the morning.
I still can't get over that scene with Carl when he's like, how many people? And she's like,
And it was Andy Mack.
And speaking of Carl,
yeah.
it's the next morning and Carl is digging a hole. Okay? Over to Frank. He's still asleep with Chucky under the house. And then we hear a voice. We meet Chucky's grandmother, Queenie. She is played by Sherilyn Fenn, who's most famous for being in the original Twin Peaks. And famous to me for being in the Psych Twin Peaks episode because she is an original cast member of Twin Peaks.
She's mother.
Love her. She's so awesome.
And
Queenie is a fun character.
We get to spend so much time with her, Amanda. Like, you're gonna be so excited. I love her.
And obviously she's Sammy's mom and Frank is Sammy's dad, so they've had a history. And she sees...
They met in college.
Yeah.
Or pre-college.
College.
They talk about what...
College, but then he, like, dropped out, you know?
But she sees him, and she's like, oh, still rolling around in the dirt right where I left you. And they kind of trade insults. Chucky is still standing there. They start banging. Like, they just...
Yeah. That's their whole relationship.
But to both of them, they're like, Chucky is not a person, he's a thing. That thing.
We join Carl. He's walking into Patsy's. He dug up a duffel bag full of money from that hole, and he slams it on the counter in front of Fiona. It says, buy back the house.
And he walks away so she can't fucking say shit to him again.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like she's out of options.
Yeah. And he's like, take this and do something good with it. And he's like...
Because he offered it the first time around.
Yeah. And like, he saw the woman that raised him losing it because she did not know what to do. And he's like, I can help at least this. And like, he's trying to help. Oh. But then we cut to credits. The after credit shot is Carl putting a cardboard sign that says Carl's crib up on the front of the house.
Ridiculous.
Isn't that from a couple episodes before, though?
I don't think so.
No, I think it's gonna be.
Oh
the
yeah,
next
he's
episode.
like, I'm the one who bought the house, so
Yeah.
He was like, it's my house. She's like, my name's on
oh
the
yeah, no.
lease.
Fiona's like, my name is on the paperwork, and he's like, it was my money though.
Yeah, no, he right though.
Well,
What part matters the most?
next week, Lip gets fired from being an RA because of the Helene of it all.
Woo.
Queenie tries to leave.
Well, no, actually, no, sorry, that's a spoiler.
Queenie tries to leave town, but Frank is obsessed with her because the man has a type, blonde and crazy. Caleb invites Ian to a wedding.
No,
And poor-
no.
Boo!
Not this scene.
Amanda,
Not this scene.
Amanda, I'm so sorry.
I've seen this
sorry.
scene. Poor sweet
It's
Ian
actually
trying to
really
dance.
funny though.
Cameron Monaghan, I love you dearly. I love you, my love.
You
Well, it's
can't
like,
dance.
girl, you are skin and bones.
Fiona admits she likes being in the middle of everyone's shit, and Lip goes full drunk, screaming breakup breakdown. Like, it's bad. Shit got real in this episode.
Yeah, no, fucking intense of an episode.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't give you a second to
No,
breathe because
but it's
everyone's
so-
going through
it's
like
good.
a gut-wrenching thing.
It's stretched out.
I'm a little upset that this is this director's only episode because it was directed really well.
Yeah.
Like, really, really
Yeah.
well. Like I said, that transition from the interrogation scene into the abortion, fuck, man, that was good.
That is just what they do. They have these like one-off directors who are so freaking good, and then they're like,
And
"Okay,
they're
see
like,
you."
goodbye forever.
He said, I'm gonna go see John
Well,
Wick.
the directors are just like, "See ya." Like, I'm out.
Peace out.
I could not have seen Nick's ending coming like that.
Right.
I could not
Absolutely
have
not.
predicted that.
But also, you're like, okay, obviously it's gonna be something with the bike, and especially after the bike gets stolen, you're like, okay, he's gonna do something fucked up. But you never would have thought they would have. You never would have thought they would have gone there.
You're like, he's gonna snap, but you don't know.
Murdering a child?
so violently and brutally too. Like, not even.
Yeah.
But they handled it that it wasn't like overly like grotesque. It was more like I don't know. Like, I think they handled it.
Well, the blood-covered hammer was upsetting, for sure. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
it was suggestive. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't grotesque. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Versus, like, we got to watch fucking Monica slit her wrists in half.
Jesus,
Like,
yeah.
they at least, they gave us a little bit of, like, a more the thing.
and like they established Nick as, yes, he was in juvie with Carl because he killed his dad, his abusive dad, who caused him pain. You can, and like the way it's structured, you can forgive him for it because he like otherwise seems like a good person who's a nice friend to Carl, who isn't really hurting anybody, and like he got out of an abusive situation in a shitty way, but like. And then this.
You, like, can't forgive him
Yeah.
for this. He just becomes, like, a
Yeah.
tragic figure. I mean, the whole thing is just really
'Cause
tragic.
Yeah, like, he's been incarcerated his whole life. He got locked up as a kid. Like, that's the only life he knows, in a way that, of course, like, he wouldn't be able to handle his problem in a well-mannered way because...
Well, it's also, like, I can't imagine... And I know, like, a lot of, like, prisoners who cycle in and out do so because they don't, like, they can't operate in the
being
real
put in a
world.
cell for like a couple years doesn't change your brain and your habits. Like, you have to work through those things.
Well, it's also just like the being on your own in the real world with all the rules and bills and all that stuff is like really hard for people to just learn, especially when they're coming up through the juvenile system, so they never got
Yeah.
to learn it, you know?
Yeah.
Which
And, like, obviously no one's ever given resources or help once they get released. So, of course, like...
right. Or it's like a lot of times like inmates who serve like 10-year sentences or 20-year sentences, once they like get out of prison, a lot of them go back because the world has simply changed so much that it makes them like scared and uncomfortable. Like technology alone, like learning new technology is impossible.
This was fuck. Like this, like I have never finished a Shameless episode going like, I do not know what to say about that. Because what the fuck? Like, that's all I can conjure. It's like the Yanis thing was like, what? Like yeah.
Well, that was absurd. That was absurd.
Yeah, they just had to go the comedic route with that because they're like, how do we do this without being
that was absurd.
morbidly
and this
upsetting?
Is devastating. For Carl, for Nick, for like that was devastating.
They just had to bang it all out in one goddamn episode so we all didn't have to fucking cry for the rest of the season.
It makes me sad, like, knowing where Carl lands, that this intense of a thing happened and we didn't get something more fruitful of an ending for him.
With, like, his upbringing and what he chooses to do with his life and stuff like that, you mean?
Like, well, how where he lands in season 11. Like, we know, like, him becoming a cop after this
Propaganda,
is
Carl.
so upsetting.
I think that's still my biggest, like, Carl anti. Is just, like, he didn't need to be a cop.
Why didn't any of them ever try to be a social worker? Like, you'd had bad ones. You could know how to be a good one.
Yeah, literally. How about that baddie that helped
Right,
you
but that's
fucking
probably
get
the
Frank?
turn off is like, I had bad ones. Also, I don't know. You have to go to college to be a social worker, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so I think
Yeah.
I would say that level of education would be needed.
well,
at least.
one of my roommates is on the social work track right now, but I don't know if it's like a requirement that you have to go to college. I think
I
you
feel
do.
like you could definitely work in the field,
but you can't be
without
like a
Yeah.
social
diploma,
worker.
but you can't
Like
be
counseling,
yeah. Like, I bet you
yeah.
could do stuff for social workers, but I don't think you.
So I guess it's just not like accessible for them mostly because most of them assume that they're not going to go to college.
The rest of this episode was really good too. Like, the Fiona of it all was nice to see her she's always, they're MacGyvering everything. They're figuring it out all the time. And she like could not figure it out in this. And yeah.
It's always nice when we get reminded that Fiona is a sister that was forced into a mother role. Like, it seems like a lot of the time we know this in the back of our heads, but we're like, oh, well, she's so like good at it and experienced now. Like, she's just basically their mother.
She's 25.
But
She's 25, 26. Like,
right, it's like episodes like these, it's like you're reminded that she
Yeah.
was a sister first.
and that she's like 25, 26 years old. Like, can you imagine trying to get a $100,000 loan and buy your house right now? Right now.
like,
Absolutely
no, I
not.
couldn't.
I can barely afford rent.
I don't know what else to say about this. Sean is an amazing boyfriend still. Poor Lip is gonna go spiraling down the road. Ian, you have bad taste in men. I don't approve.
Mickey included. I'll say it.
Mickey had to be molded.
Yeah,
I'll
true.
say it. You
Mickey
just
had
have
to
bad
be
taste,
molded
period.
and fixed and tamed and grown.
But like I remember that
Yeah.
fucking beard.
We all remember the beard.
The characters had to write him.
Oh, okay. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Me neither.
That was
I'm over it.
upsetting. Goodbye.
Yeah. Over
Bye.
it.
We'll
see
be
ya.
back, when we're back. We're still chugging along. I didn't post the episode this week, so I guess we're doing every 3 weeks now. Whoops.
Snow delay. The weather prevented us.
Sure.
Yeah, the Arctic
Yep.
polar
605
vortex.
will be
Arctic
up
frost.
The cold
next
snap.
week, and then we'll get this up 3 weeks after that. Or, if
Chicken
we
in.
record another episode sooner than that, then good. But
All right.
Guys, I'm at a 18 right now with
Good Lord.
with an average of -11.
We're sitting at 13 with feels like 0.
fucking Lord. I am at 18.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 18. The high of tomorrow looking like 30.
Yeah, high of tomorrow is a little better, 27.
Yeah, I
But
have
then
27
Saturday,
for the high for
low
tomorrow.
of -3. Sorry.
Oh, guys, I have 70% snow
Yeah,
on Friday.
us too. We're gonna
Yeah, I
get
have
some
50.
snow.
I have 50%
Yeah.
tomorrow and Friday.
Anyway,
Book.
I'm more north than you guys though.
Anyways. Yeah, no, you're probably colder because you're closer to the water.
Yeah, that too.
anyway, that episode was upsetting. Go sit with it. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.